Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. The round of 16 has already delivered drama, late winners, penalty shootouts, and massive upsets. But now we arrive at what could be one of the toughest tests England's entire World Cup campaign. It's Mexico versus England at the legendary Estadio Azteca. This isn't just another knockout game. England aren't just playing 11 Mexican players tonight. They're playing over 80,000 passionate home fans. They're playing at more than 2,200 meters above sea level. And they're playing against a Mexican team that simply refuses to lose at this stadium. England have the bigger names. Mexico have the home advantage. England have Harry Kane. Mexico have the momentum. And by the end of this match, one of these nations will be packing their bags while the other moves into a blockbuster quarterfinals against either Brazil or Norway. So let's break everything down. Let's start with the hosts. Few people expected Mexico to look this convincing. 4 matches, 4 wins, not a single defeat. One of the best defensive records in the entire tournament. And perhaps most impressively, they finally ended a 40-year wait for a World Cup knockout victory by comfortably defeating Ecuador 2-0. Julian Quinones opened the scoring before Raúl Jiménez doubled the lead, and from that point onwards, Mexico looked completely in control. That victory changed everything. For years, Mexico have carried the burden of failing in knockout football. Now, that pressure has disappeared. This team genuinely believes it can go all the way. And then there's the stadium. If you have never watched football at the Azteca, let me tell you, this place is different. The altitude is brutal. The atmosphere is relentless. The crowd never stops. Mexico have turned this stadium into a fortress. They have gone unbeaten in World Cup matches here, and throughout this tournament, they have looked completely at home. Every tackle is cheered, every interception feels like a goal, every England mistake will lift the crowd even more. Thomas Tuchel himself admitted that England cannot fully adapt to the altitude in such a short period. That alone tells you how difficult this challenge will be. Now, let's talk about England. Yes, they are unbeaten. Yes, Harry Kane has already scored 5 goals. Yes, they are through to the round of 16. But if you are being honest, England haven't looked like favourites. Against DR Congo, they were the second best for long periods. They conceded early, created very little for almost an hour, and if DR Congo had taken one more chance before halftime, this tournament might already have been different. Instead, Harry Kane did what Harry Kane always seems to do. He rescued England. 2 huge goals, another knockout masterclass, another reminder that world class strikers win knockout football matches. But England cannot expect Harry Kane to rescue them every single game. Against Mexico, they'll need a much better overall performance. The tactical battle. This match is fascinating because both teams want to play in completely different ways. Mexico will want intensity, fast starts, quick transition, pressure from the crowd. England, meanwhile, need control. Declan Rice and Jude Bellingham have to slow the game down. They cannot allow Mexico to turn this into chaos because chaos is exactly what the home side wants. If England lose possession carelessly in the midfield, Mexico will attack immediately. If England survive those opening 20 minutes, the game begins to shift in their favor. Of course, this game is packed with quality. For England, everything begins with Harry Kane. 5 goals already, Golden Boot contender. Whenever England needs someone, Kane delivers. Behind him is Jude Bellingham. His energy, pressing, and ability to drive through the midfield could become crucial, especially in these difficult conditions. Bukayo Saka and Anthony Gordon could also play massive roles if they start, giving England much needed pace against Mexico's fullbacks. For Mexico, Raúl Jiménez looks rejuvenated. Julian Quinones has been outstanding throughout this tournament, and don't overlook Roberto Alvarado. He may not grab the headlines, but his creativity has quietly been one of Mexico's biggest strengths. Then there is the 17-year-old Gilberto Mora, one of the youngest players ever to start a World Cup knockout match. Fearless, technically brilliant, and already attracting attention from Europe's biggest clubs. One of England's biggest problems so far has been slow starts. Against DR Congo, no shot on target for 30 minutes. Against Mexico, that simply cannot happen. The Azteca crowd will smell weakness immediately. If Mexico score first, the stadium could become almost impossible to silence. England have to stay calm, keep possession, avoid cheap mistakes because emotionally this match could become just as important as tactically. Mexico aren't intimidated. Why would they be? They're playing at home. They won every match. They've barely conceded chances. They've already beaten quality opposition. And most importantly, they have started believing. For years, Mexico reached the round of 16 and fell apart. Not anymore. This team looks mentally stronger than previous generations. That's what makes this such a dangerous opponent. But despite all that, I slightly favor England. Not because they have played better, they haven't, but because knockout football is often decided by moments, and England simply have more players capable of producing those moments. Harry Kane, Jude Bellingham, Marcus Rashford, Ivan Toney, Ollie Watkins, Bukayo Saka, Anthony Gordon. As the match gets longer, England's bench becomes a bigger advantage. Fresh legs make even more at altitude. That's where I think the game changes. My prediction, I honestly don't see England winning this comfortably. But I also don't think Mexico are going to roll over. I think this becomes one of the most entertaining round of 16 matches. Mexico starts strong, the crowd pushes them forward. England struggle early. Eventually, England grow into the game. I can see both teams scoring during normal time. After 90 minutes, Mexico won, England won. Then we go into extra time. This is where England's squad depth begins to show. The fresh substitutes make the difference. Mexico begin to fire. England create one final big opportunity. And Harry Kane, or perhaps even one of the substitutes, delivers the decisive moment. My final prediction is Mexico 1, England 1 after 90 minutes. England to win 2-1 after extra time and book their place in the quarterfinals. But that's just my prediction. Do you agree? Can Mexico use the incredible Azteca atmosphere to pull off one of the biggest wins in the recent World Cup history? Or will Harry Kane once again prove why he is one of the greatest knockout strikers of his generation? Let me know your prediction down in the comments below. If you enjoyed this preview, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and turn on the notifications because you have got previews, predictions, and complete coverage of every single World Cup knockout match. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.